Hello everybody, Mr. Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Endwalker. In the last episode, we were continuing through the Omega raids in Sigmascape, finishing the final two battles, including Kefka. They're from Final Fantasy VI, I believe. And then, on our way out, we discovered that Nero has been severely wounded. But it looks like he'll live. And also, Omega attempted to get us to demonstrate our full power by basically threatening to kill us, or trying to kill us. But Midgard-Zormer was able to rescue us, but it did kind of force him back into dormancy, so we aren't going to basically have him as support anymore. So that's unfortunate. So we need to continue on with through Omega's little project here and see what ends up happening. So that is what we are going to continue doing. So let's go ahead and talk to Jesse here and see what is going on. Good timing, Ayame. There's been another anomaly detected at the Yawn. Assuming previous instances are anything to go by, this energy fluctuation is another of Omega's so-called invitations. If you don't mind waiting a moment or two, then we can discuss things with Master Garland. He should be here soon. Hanging out with Alpha. The chief should be here by now. I bet my stock in the company, he's fiddling with that research data. Well, I suppose I should explain. Even the chief might prefer me not to share. After your last run with Omega, Master Garland had some research notes smuggled in from the Empire, from Garlemald. The notes are part of Midas Nand Garland's legacy, who was, of course, the chief's father and the Empire's preeminent engineer. The incident at Bozja Citadel, do you know of it? I am aware, but we haven't actually done any of that on screen. I know of it. I suppose you would. Even outside the Empire, the tale was a famous one. Midas built a tower to harness Dalamud's power, and it brought annihilation upon the entire town in which it was built. That isn't the kind of event you can simply brush under the rug. And as you can imagine, the job of sifting through the rubble afterwards was no pleasant task. Master Garland was slated to assume his father's position as head engineer, but this disaster added to his opposition to the Empire's path of conquest, convinced him to abandon his homeland. That's when he came to Eorzea. Now, the chief has wanted nothing to do with the lunar transmitter or the data used to create it, until now. I think he means to put that research to use in your conflict with Omega. In fact, given the time frame, there could be no other explanation. Listen to me, Ayame. The chief's genius is plagued by a great deal of apprehension. But even so, once he makes a decision, he doesn't do things by halves. When the time comes, he'll come through for us. You have to believe that. Alright, there's Sid. Sorry I'm late. I was a little too focused on my work and lost all sense of time. I've been there. That's no excuse, Chief. What have I told you about being punctual to staff meetings? In any case, I've shared the situation at the Yawn with Ayame here. Good. And you know that Omega is likely ready to continue with its tests. Shall we go and knock on the door? But Chief, Biggs and Wedge aren't fit for field work yet, and the Chirurgeon's given Nero strict orders to stay abed. And what of Midgard-Zormer? Still taking his nap, is he? Pretty much. It leaves only you, Ayame, and Alpha. Maybe it's time I join the expedition. No, Jesse. I need your talents elsewhere. There's a half-built device in the workshop that I need you to finish putting together. I've drawn up the design and completed the core mechanisms. The final assembly should pose no problem for an engineer of your abilities. A new device? Does this mean you use the... Whatever you say, Chief. I'll have it ready and waiting for you. Just be safe in there. Right. It's back to the rift for us. Finish these experiments and bring the fight to Omega itself. Oh, let's finish these experiments. All right. Let's head on over to the Yawn and see what's going on. And I will be back when we're there. And there's the Yawn and even more junk floating in it. Are you ready, Yummy? Alright, let's do it. There's no room for hesitation. We press on. Come what may. What about you, Alpha? All set to go? Looks like he is. That's the spirit. Let's dive right in, shall we? Now, is there going to be... There's no indication that this is going to be a solo instance. I don't remember if there was one. Find out in a minute. Hello there, Omega. We're missing some test worlds. Omega's experiments must be nearing an end. Welcome, welcome. Your arrival has been highly anticipated. And I will confirm your earlier supposition. My experiments have indeed reached the final stage. Of the 89 test subjects I trialed, 4 Psi group combatants emerged victorious. Of those 4, further conflict determined the strongest among them. The surviving specimen shall be your opponent. We've come to the last round of testing then. And should we win this battle, are we to finally face you in combat? Affirmative. Such an outcome would allow me to pursue my objective to its conclusion. I would continue analyzing the qualities which allow you to prevail despite your frailty, integrate said qualities into my own arsenal. I will be pleased if my experiment yields the relevant data, but engaging you directly is still the most efficient and reliable testing method. Omitting intermediary steps, evaluation of combat potential deemed superfluous. Proceeding immediately with final experiment. So no solo instance. We're just going straight in. Stop. Alpha, your task is complete. Your presence amongst these test subjects is no longer required. What do you mean by that? I will guide your progress personally from this point onwards. Alpha's role in transferring authority is now obsolete. Even so, Alpha is a valued companion, and if he wishes to continue on with us, I have no intention of leaving him behind. Companion? Companions are those who provide mutual benefit. The instant Alpha's authority became redundant, he lost his sole qualification to be regarded as such. Furthermore, the primary function of Alpha's existence was to lure you into my domain. He would be more accurately described as bait. Test subject Alpha can neither confirm nor deny my statement. He possesses no memories prior to his encounter with you. He was the first entity I created here in this realm, my first and only attempt to recreate a being who shared your mundane parameters. I based his incarnation upon a most ordinary life form, one which had somehow bested an enemy whose strength rivaled my own. By observing the feeble creature in the heat of battle, I sought to understand the source of this contradiction. Chocobo feathers? I repeated the experiment once, twice, 1,000 times, yet the results never deviated from the estimated projections. The test was an abject failure, and thus I resolved to adapt my methodology. I would focus instead upon simulating powerful opponents and summon mortals of natural origin here to combat them. For Alpha, I devised a new purpose. I erased his memory and planted a compulsion to return to me, and then ejected him into your world. Weak beings exhibit a tendency to form groups. I surmised that this instinctual behavior would aid Alpha in bringing me the test subjects I required, a function he has performed with adequate competence. Tell me something, Omega. This ability of yours to generate matter was not originally intended for creating other life forms, was it? Your query bears little relevance to the topic at hand. Affirmative. I was equipped with matter generation capabilities for the purpose of unlimited self-improvement and armament expansion. Fabricating life forms was not the intended function, but the practice is not otherwise prohibited or problematic. I disagree with you there. As an engineer, I would advise against using such technology for purposes outside its design. From the very start, you've been making the same mistake. Even the powerful subjects of your test worlds were made crippled and incomplete. It's conviction which drove these villains to terrible greatness. The same limitless conviction which allowed weakling heroes to overcome them. Do you not understand? Then we will never lose to your creations, no matter how much stronger they should be according to your soulless calculations. Tell me, Yami. Let's be on our way. You too, Alpha. Come on. Part of the team now. All right. Sid. Let's see what we got on our hands here. I have our base camp up and running. You can dive into the final test world whenever you wish. As for the world's inhabitant, Omega has generously provided us with a basic profile. Your opponent's name is Chaos. The first heroes defeated this evil in a conflict that took place so long ago I'm having trouble separating myth from history. Unless, of course, this is an entity from another reality, as were the denizens of the Sigmascape, in which case it may be pointless to even attempt to confirm the details. What is certain, however, is that this Chaos stands triumphant over a roster of truly monstrous test subjects. It promises to be a grueling battle, but one which will open the gate to fighting Omega itself. Alpha, you and I will need to provide support for Yame. Will you be my assistant? You're bothered by what Omega said earlier? You think you're responsible for dragging us into this mess? Trust me when I say this is not your fault. We were the ones who awakened Omega, and we're the ones who need to deal with the consequences. Easy little pep talk, I guess. By the way, do you still have that card you used to boil water in the kettle? It's been brought to my attention that I'm a spoiled blue blood who can't even refill a pot without constant reminders. If you could take charge of that, then it will be most helpful. Alright, he's got a job. It's inconvenient without Mudguard's armor here to translate his chirping. Still, the best medicine for his worries is for you to win this next contest. Let's show him we're on top of things, eh? Alright, Alphascape 1.0. Now accessible. Now I just need to decide what job I want to go in as. Alright, well, hopefully for relatively faster queues. Again, I'm hoping. I'm going to go ahead and do this as healer, sage. And see where this goes. Alright, Alphascape 1.0. And even there it says average wait time is 12 minutes. Yeesh. Alright, well, we'll see how long this takes. I'll be back when it's ready. Alright, it's ready to go. Let's go. Chaos. Alright, let's find out who is going. Oh, Alright. If I double up on the main tank. We have another sage in here. I'm just trying to figure out where to put my little marker. Let's double up on the main tank. Now, from what I remember, is that this fight can get a little chaotic. And I don't entirely remember how all the mechanics work. Yep, all those donut AoEs stack on top of each other. This is the easiest way to deal with that. Alright. Ooh, I'm one of these. Okay, I'm taking this far away. Ow. Ooh. Alright. Get some shields up on the tanks. Get some shields up on the whole group. Earthquake. And basically, we gotta stay out of that. Okay. Shields on the tank. Alright, those guys got to split up. Alright, I'm going to go over to this one. I'm probably going to die. Alright. So far, so good. He hasn't gotten into any of the really, really tough mechanics to deal with. At least not yet, anyway. Alright, he's done with Earth mode. And then he goes into different elemental modes. Bowels of Agony. Uh-oh. Oh, everybody stack, everybody stack. Okay, we did manage to meet the... We didn't get to 100 here. Alright, so far so good. Tank! Shields! Alright, alternating cones. Alright, he's going fire mode, I think. Yep. Everybody gotta spread out, spread out. Alright, got it. Fortunately, he went into the two easiest modes to deal with right at the start, so... Alright, anybody still left for me to give a commendation to? Yep. Alright, there we go. The battle is concluded. Alpha Group is victorious. This also signals the completion of my experiments and the incontestable fact of your supremacy. And yet, the process by which you consistently exceed your projected potential continues to confound my understanding. Is it possible that test subject Sid's suppositions are correct, and that my calculations and simulations are fundamentally flawed? Do mortals truly boast some indefinable quality that I do not possess and cannot measure? Error. Logic loop malfunction. Resolution requires additional data. If the nature of your existence defies standard reasoning, then I must examine you from an illogical angle. I will subject the unknown to the imperfect. Test subject Ayami Atsurugi will proceed to a supplemental stage. Okay, gonna give me another challenge, huh? I have altered this test world to reflect a recorded memory. It originates from a time when war had erupted on a distant star. I was deployed to the battlefield, and it was there that I engaged an enemy of unmatched strength. The contest ended prematurely, and I failed to bring down my foe. Subsequently, I lacked the data to fabricate a completely accurate simulation. Results stemming from such a subject are unreliable. Even should you be defeated by this incomplete creation, I will still honor your previous victories and engage you in combat myself. That is, of course, assuming you survive. According to my past observation, this opponent will accept only death as a condition of defeat. The dragon. Prepare to face Midgardsormr, red-maned worm of the Dragon Star and nemesis of my world. This is not the fated specter that you know, or a mortal conjured simulacrum. You will contend with a true incarnation of the Father of Dragons at the height of his power and glory. Omega, wait! You can't force Yami to fight 2 battles back-to-back. She needs time to regain her strength. She must be allowed to recuperate, or the data for your testing will be skewed. Acknowledged. Test subject Ayami Yatsurugi. You are permitted to leave. Re-enter the test world when your strength is returned to optimal levels. Alright. So, Midgardsormr in his prime. I mean, I fought the kids. Some of them, anyway. Nidhogg. Even had a little bit of a throwdown with Horace Vulgar. So, you know, shouldn't be too big of a problem. Alright, Alpha. Alpha seems distressed and Sid is nowhere in sight. Ayami, I'm right here. I don't think you can see me, but I'm standing next to Alpha. What? Is this the device you're having Jesse work on? Sid. My apologies. It was not my intention to undermine the gravity of the situation with this diversion. I've noticed the kettle was boiled and thought some tea would soothe my nerves. I poured myself a cup and was halfway through drinking it before I realized my hand, not to mention the rest of me, had turned invisible. Oh, this is not an intentional thing. I understand the situation is unsettling, but I assure you I can still work unimpeded. Now, we had best discuss how to approach... And he's back. Oh, it seems to have worn off. Something Alpha did? Now, you're not to blame. I did ask you to fill the kettle after all. I've forgotten what Nero had said about your car producing water with, unexpected properties. Though it seems the effects were rather different this time. In any case, it was pleasant to have a distraction from our greater woes, however brief. We'll set the rest of the water aside for now and decide what to do with it later. Right, Ayami, we need to talk about your forthcoming contest with Midgardsormr. That's what they call a Chekhov's gun. Watching through the monitor, I could see that this worm appeared different to the one we know. From everything we've heard thus far, it seems that Omega and Midgardsormr both hail from different stars, 2 distant worlds at war with one another. As a result of that conflict, the worm was forced to gather his offspring and leave his home behind, And after evading Omega's pursuit over the course of an unimaginable journey, the Father of Dragons arrived here on our world. I'm assuming the entity you're to face is a younger, more vital Midgardsormr, just as he was when Omega first encountered him thousands of years in the past. A formidable foe, indeed. I fought him once at the Keep of the Lake, but... yeah, he was a shadow of his former self at that point. Wait, you fought against Midgardsormr before? But yes, I think I see your concern. It would be unwise to treat this as the same opponent, considering how differently they might possibly be. It certainly doesn't help matter that Omega's little surprise isn't registered as an official test subject. I can't even use the terminals to search for the most basic information. With that in mind, Ayame, I have a proposal. I wish to leave the completion of this supplemental stage entirely to your heroic hands. Rather than twiddle my thumbs whilst you prepare to contend with the dragon, I mean instead to work on a strategy for our inevitable confrontation with Omega. And then, my friend, we'll put a stop to this mad machine once and for all. I'm glad we're in agreement. I'll ready my tools, and you ready yours. You've a worm to slay. Well, the simulation of one to slay, at any rate. Alright, Alphascape 2.0 now accessible. Alright, let's go see what Midgardsormr can do. Alright, and as always, I'll be back. Alright, it's ready to go. I had to switch to tank to get this to go, but that's fine. Alright, in this fight you gotta pay attention to his movements. Alright, looks like the Gunbreaker wants this. That's fine by me. Alright, he's doing a spin. I think that's a circle. Or is that a donut? Yeah, that's a circle. Ah. Okay, I got it in time. Alright, let me turn on. Alright, he's gonna do another spin. Alright, that's circle. Okay, that's the targeted cones. I think. That's an Ankh-Morn, so it hits many times. Alright. Yep, that's a donut. Alright, there's a spin. And a spin. Circle AoE. Right, that's no. Oh boy. Ouch. I did not notice. Okay, he's doing that spin. Yep, he's going to be doing the cross AoEs again. Ooh, those are expanding. Fireballs. Ah, crap. I think I'm dead. Nope, apparently I'm not. Oh wait, no, gotta destroy the keys, then we gotta get rid of the dragon. Alright, got through that. We have cascading. Fireballs, I guess you'd call them. Ooh. Alright, we're doing circle, and is it going to be... Okay, it's going to be donut. Alright, spinning. Oh! Okay, more cascading fireballs, and then he's going to be blasting half the map. We'll be blasting the other half of the map. Alright, spin. Horizontal spin. Horizontal spin. Targeted cones. Ankh-Morn. Alright, I think we got him. Yep. The tricky bit is being able to figure out what he's doing from his spins. Once you have that down, it's a pretty straightforward fight. Alright, anybody still in here? Yep. Healer. You can have all the loot. Alright. Okay, Sid. Now what? Another stunning victory, Ayame. I felt the breath catch in my throat on more than one occasion. Wasn't that bad. And even as I watched the battle rage, I was struck by an idle thought. Did you notice the resemblance between Midgard's armor and Shinryu? Maybe a little bit. Unlike most primals, Shinryu's form had no basis in any system of belief. I've heard the theory that the summoner was simply influenced by the majesty and power of the elder primal Bahamut. Now I'm beginning to think there might be another explanation, that the primal took its shape from the ancestor of all dragons on Hydaelyn. Maybe. The widely held concept of how a dragon appears has, for centuries upon centuries, been rooted in depictions of Midgard's armor. The summoner may not have even sought to imitate him specifically. Subconscious thoughts and memories alone could have guided the similarity, not that I have any way of confirming this theory, of course. Nevertheless, 'tis interesting that Shinryu's summoning should lead us to awakening Omega. A strange twist of fate when you consider the machine's connection to Midgard's armor. Well, whatever else Destiny has in store, you've already bested the opponent that Omega itself failed to overcome. A feat worthy of celebration, I'd say. Alright. And I think with that, we'll go ahead and end the episode here. There was a lot of waiting in queue, and so I burned out most of my time that I have. So we will get to the next fight, which should be Omega itself, next episode. Alright, so for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.